The Pittsburgh Steelers are now 4-1 after beating the Browns 23-9 yesterday. I'm all for winning, but it's just sloppy offensive football that we're seeing. While it's an upgrade from the past 3 years, I really worry about our receiver room. Our wide receivers were DK Metcalf, Ben Skowronek, Scotty Miller, Roman Wilson, and Keyshawn Williams. Our tight end room isn't too bad with Pat Freiermuth, Darnell Washington, Jonnu Smith, and Connor Hayward. Now, I don't have a lot of complaints about DK other than he drops the ball from time to time, but he's a physical receiver that you can rely on to get yards both short and deep. My problem lies with the Steelers offense as a whole. While DK is a slightly better upgrade than George Pickens, we're kind of using him the same way we used Pickens these past 2 years, where every once in a while we'll have George Pickens run deep, try to give him a shot, make a play on the ball once or twice a game, and that's really it. Yesterday, DK had a good game. 4 catches for 95 yards and a touchdown, but 4 catches. We need to be targeting him 2 to 3 times a drive. Now, another problem with that is, well, we don't really have anybody else to rely on and relieve some of that pressure from DK. Defenses aren't going to be worried about guys like Ben Skowronek or Scotty Miller. And while Smith, Freiermuth, and Washington, they're good tight ends, Washington especially playing pretty well, so was Jonnu Smith. They're not much of a threat past 10 yards. So we really limit our opportunities with these heavy tight end sets. I know Arthur Smith likes to use the tight ends. That's all right. We're making some plays out of it, but we can't rely on it. We're just a slower team when we're relying on tight ends. We can't spread the ball out too much. We can't go deep as much. And sure, that could be good enough to beat a team like the Browns, but what happens when we need to play the Bills, the Eagles, the Chiefs, the Lions, all right, any team in the playoffs? We need to be able to spread the ball around much more. Sure, DK Metcalf is a good wide receiver 1, and Calvin Austin, when he's healthy, could be a good wide receiver 2, but even then, with Calvin Austin and DK Metcalf, we're still limited with speed and deep threats. Sure, we could do quick check passes to Washington, Jonnu Smith, Freiermuth, and have them get a couple yards fight for a first down. That's great when we need to use them. But when it's 1st and 10 on the opponent's 25-yard line, we have 75 yards to go. I mean, we're playing a good team like the Bills. We're trying to come from behind. It's hard to really go after it and get touchdowns and spread the ball and move downfield. Of course, we scored points still. We scored, 23 points against the Browns? But we had to rely on Chris Boswell making 3 field goals like usual. I'm looking at the receiving stats from yesterday. All tight ends, all 4 of our tight ends got involved. Only 2 receivers got involved. Okay, DK Metcalf, of course, being the leading receiver. But Darnell Washington, he had a good day. Absolutely. But teams are going to realize, okay, well, they're going to use Darnell Washington as their wide receiver 2 or wide receiver 3. Let's lock him down. That's simple. Pressure him more, all right? And it's going to be hard for him to get off the ball, hard for him to get some separation, hard for him to get any yards, like I said, past 10 yards. Sure, he could actually get some separation because he's strong, but they might try to double team him, try to jam him off the line, and he's going to be too slow to try to get open. Jonnu Smith, 3 receptions for 18 yards. I'm fine with using him more as a slot tight end, sort of like how the Chiefs use Travis Kelce, because Jonnu Smith is much more athletic, much quicker. Kenneth Gainwell, he's playing very good football this year as a running back, but he shouldn't be our 4th leading receiver for only 14 yards especially. Roman Wilson finally getting involved, only 1 reception. I want to use Roman Wilson more. Maybe he could be a solid wide receiver 3 that could be a threat, but we don't use him ever. Had 1 catch for 12 yards. Connor Hayward, 1 catch for 12 yards, also a touchdown. I really don't want to see Connor Hayward much involved. I get it, he scored the touchdown, but that was a very good play by Aaron Rodgers, extending the play, throwing across the body. That was a very, very good throw. Good catch, good play. I just don't think we should be, relying on Connor Hayward to be catching balls. Jaylen Warren, 2 receptions for 11 yards, and Pat Freiermuth with a reception for 11 yards. And I'm honestly disappointed with how we're using Pat Freiermuth. He dropped that ball, that perfect thrown ball against Seahawks a few weeks ago. I understand, it happens, but Pat Freiermuth is a veteran on the Steelers. We know he's a very good tight end. We should be targeting him a lot across the middle. We got to get him more involved. So listen, I don't have a problem with these 4-3 tight end sets, but we just got to be using them more. We got to be using guys like Pat Freiermuth and Jonnu Smith across the middle, use their speed, not these quick checkdowns, all right? We can't be looking towards Darnell Washington every play, our tight ends every play. Use them when we need to. We got to get more guys deep downfield. All right, we could help expand and spread out those defenses, those zones. If we just have DK Metcalf going deep and then, of course, all of our tight ends and running backs in the flats, we're not going to be getting much yards when we need to. So that's really the only offensive complaint I have. Jaylen Warren, he's running hard. Kenneth Gainwell, he's playing good when he needs to. And our defense, our defense has been playing very, very good these past 2 games, which I'm glad to see. We're hitting. TJ Watt's getting more involved. He had a pretty quiet start to the season, but he's starting to get much involved now. So it's one of those seasons again where I'm not really too nervous about our defense. I'm not worried about our special teams, but our offense, while the play calling's a little better, while our guys are better, right? Our quarterback's better, I should say. Our offensive line's a bit better. Our quarterback's better. With Aaron Rodgers, a smart quarterback. 235 yards and 2 touchdowns. I'm just worried about, like I said, when we're playing these good teams, we're from behind, and we need to get downfield. All right, we're in a 2-minute offense. We're at the 25-yard line, and we got to march 75 yards downfield. We're just going to keep throwing checkdowns to Jonnu Smith and Darnell Washington, or are we going to get 25, 30-yard break-off plays across the middle when DK Metcalf's locked up? What happens if DK Metcalf gets hurt, right? What I think we should do is trade for a receiver. Also, I should have mentioned that earlier in the video. I think we should really explore trading for a good wide receiver too, whether Calvin Austin's healthy or not. By the deadline, I'd throw in Alex Highsmith, honestly. He's a good player, good edge rusher, but the way Herbig's been playing, pair him with TJ Watt, I think we'll be okay with the edge. I think we should try to send away Alex Highsmith, get a wide receiver too, solid wide receiver too. I'm not sure. Maybe somebody from the Buccaneers. I mean, they have a lot of talented guys there. I don't know, Cooper Kupp from the Seahawks. Just some guys who, could really be a deep threat, or some threats that we could get for 15, 20 yards. All right, kind of like Calvin Austin could be, but we can't always rely on Calvin Austin. So let me know what you guys think about the Steelers wide receiver room. It's a bit worrisome. We need to make a change. We need to go for a trade. That's really it. Calvin Austin comes back. We trade. We get another solid receiver. We'll be okay. Trade away a defensive player like Alex Highsmith. Maybe trade away one of our tight ends, Pat Freiermuth, throw him in there. If you don't want to use him, he's a talented player, Pat Freiermuth is. Use him. So we'll see what happens. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. I'm out, guys. Peace. Make sure to subscribe.